So I wanted to bring something to the channel that right before the holidays, this happens. It's stronger than fentanyl. Stronger than fentanyl. Imagine that. We'll give people a few minutes to get on here. We're going to give folks a few. We'll just see how it. We'll give people a few minutes to get on here. I want the preppers to get on here. I'm sharing it out. Hold on a minute, okay? Hold on a minute. We got warnings coming in, and I want to talk about this right before Christmas. This is happening, and it is stronger than fentanyl. Stronger than fentanyl, y'all. We know that fentanyl has been like a major issue here in the United States. So there's a warning coming in from the CDC. I'm just going to get into it. Whoever watches it, whatever. So I think it's really important that we get this out to people and share it on your live streams, share it on your community pages, and let people know what's happening, okay? There is a more potent form of fentanyl that's right now is contributing to thousands of overdose deaths that happen every year. This is coming in from the CDC. And this derivative of fentanyl is called carfentanil. And it's been detected in 513 overdose deaths just here recently. This report's coming in from the CDC. Carfentanil was designed to tranquilize large animals. It's estimated to be 10,000, do y'all hear me? 10,000 times stronger than morphine and 100 times stronger than fentanyl. 2 milligrams is needed to tranquilize an elephant, and the same amount is powerful enough to kill 50 people with 2 milligrams. 2 milligrams could fit on the edge of this pin, okay? Fentanyl is like really freaking unbelievable. The Department of Veteran Affairs just did a report on this also. Drug overdose deaths have been declining since 2023, according to the CDC, but they're remaining very high in the United States. And the majority are connected to illegally manufactured fentanyl, IMFs. Carfentanil is related overdose deaths are becoming less rare, highlighting the ever-changing illegal drug supply that threatens the progress made in reducing overdose deaths, according to the report. The number of deaths within carfentanil was low between January 2021 and June of 2023. But overdose deaths connected to carfentanil spiked in the latter half of 2023, jumping from 29, y'all, 29 to 175, 503% increase. Carfentanil-related deaths continue to rise this year. There's right now a total of 238 people have died since June, 720% increase. So the rate of overdose deaths linked to the IMFs has remained stable over the past 3 years, but 70 to 80% of overdose deaths between 21 and 24 in the Northeast, Midwest, and South. These drugs are coming right over the border. People just don't get it. They don't get how serious the drug epidemic is in the United States, especially fentanyl. The thing is even law enforcement, people that touch fentanyl can just keel over and that's it. I'm not going to stay on here long. I wanted to bring that out because it's absolutely unbelievable that we have an open border, that we continue to let people come across the border, and here we are with more fentanyl deaths and carfentanil rising above. I mean, it's the numbers are horrific. The numbers are definitely horrific, folks. I want to talk about one other thing, that there is a lot of products disappearing off the shelves in Costco, and people should really get stocked up on anything and everything they need. They're saying that, we're on the brink of just the total collapse and total fall. I know this is a pop-up live. It usually takes like 2 hours, and I don't have no 2 hours to get people on here. I have really important things to do, and I want to keep doing the things that I need to do to prepare for the total meltdown. Oh, always some idiot in here. Always some idiots coming in. I love the idiots and the freaking bullshit. That's why thank you, Skippington. Love you, hon. Another thing is there's a deadly outbreak right now of the bleeding eye virus. And that's another big, huge concern is the bleeding eye virus. There's a lot of alerts out right now. There's travel advisories about it. And Africa is experiencing an outbreak of the Marburg virus to the extreme. Officials are continuing to monitor the outbreak of the Marburg virus, also known as bleeding eye virus, in Rwanda. And there's a lot of travel advisories coming out from the U.S. State Department right before Christmas, of course. And they're recommending that travelers do exercise extreme caution because of the outbreak. I'm not going to stay on here. I hope that everybody keeps prepping because the bird flu is surging. We had millions and millions of chickens that were put down because of the bird flu. And now with the Marburg and the bird flu, I mean, we're going to have some serious problems here in the United States and around the world, especially with the bird flu, the swine flu that happened previously that took out just complete houses of pigs and chickens. But I want to say this about the Marburg. If you're traveling overseas, make sure that you're updated on your shots, your vaccinations, and that you're aware of the alerts that are coming in for those countries. Marburg is one of the deadliest viruses that affect humans. This is coming from Dr. Mark Siegel, who's a senior medical analysis for the clinical professor of medicine at NYU, Langone Medical Center. He said it's very, very similar to Ebola that causes the fever, but some of the first symptoms, right, actually mimic the flu: fever, body aches, diarrhea, abdominal pain, vomiting. And it usually takes 2 to 21 days, according to Dr. Siegel, for someone to really realize that they have it. You also may realize that people will look jaundiced. They'll have major inflammation, liver failure, massive hemorrhaging, and all different kinds of organ failures that's coming in from the CDC. It's also called bleeding from the eyes, nose, right, mouth, hence the name eye virus, bleeding eye virus. And the virus is transmitted via body surfaces, blood, and contact with contaminated surfaces, according to Siegel, Dr. Siegel. We got to make sure we say doctor for the YouTube world. But I think one of the big things, folks, is if you're traveling or doing anything, there's no really adequate drugs or vaccines for Marburg. Siegel told Fox News Digital this. He also did a report on it. They are working with some experimental vaccinations to try to get it under control. But it usually occurs within like 8 to 9 days after the symptoms, and most people do not make it. It's typically due to blood loss. I think that's all I really want to say tonight is get those warnings out there in front of people because there's a lot of warnings going on, and I hope that everybody's safe this holiday season. Most importantly, keep prepping, keep putting away first aid supplies, make sure that you stock up on your medicines, and definitely prep your car for the winter season. This is OTWP signing out. Hey, Leah. Oh, here we go. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what's going to happen. With all the different things that are coming out, they definitely are going to push another one. I will not comply. But what I will say about it is that, some of them are definitely true. We know that for a fact. I think the big thing is that people always think that it's not going to happen here in the United States. And I think that people are under false pretenses when they think it will not happen in the United States. Yeah, I hear you. We've seen what happened in 2019. And when you take the Kool-Aid of the month, we know what happened and what occurred, and then what has came out since then. I really think that we're just on the brink of the total collapse for the United States, and it's going to get messier and messier. You're welcome. It does, Carmen. But the most important thing is that we keep walking in faith, not fear. I don't bring these broadcasts anymore like I used to. I think that the most important thing we could do is to have faith first, to do the things, put our boots on the concrete, and really shake things up. And it's the only way that we're ever going to get change in this country. I mean, honestly, I really believe that once we see, and I've said it for the last 6 months, once we see all the treasury bonds get dumped into the United States, it's going to be the ample, perfect opportunity, their little window of opportunity to come in and smash us with the CBDC. And by having the CBDC in place, I've come to my own conclusions about it. We have to go with the flow. We have to roll with the punches. There's no way to step aside of something that comes out that's a one world government, that where basically everybody's controlled by the same money. But the scary part of it, y'all, is that when they do roll in the CBDC, most people are going to be welcoming and happy for it, because it's going to look like you're going to become a millionaire, or you're going to have more money than you ever imagined. And when we all know that Trooper is saying hi, everyone say hello, Trooper. We all know that when these things occur, that we don't and can't change it. If you really think about the things that have happened over the last 20, 30 years, right? For example, most people used to always use cash, cash, cash. Hi, Tita Marie. Most people used to always use cash, not credit. And then what happened is it was the easy maneuvering of people from cash to debit cards to Gcash to PayPal, whatever it may be. And the same thing is occurring now, and it's occurring around the world, where we will not have, most people have felt the burn. If you're not using credit cards, they're cutting down your credit line. Most people have felt the burn that that the rates are going up, the interest rates are going up on those credit cards. And so what they're doing is they're enslaving the population around the world. Do I believe it'll be prison planet someday? You bet your ass it will be, because it's occurring more and more and more. When we give our way to AI and the machine, then there's not going to be control of our own individual dollars. Once we got off the gold standard, this country went to shit because there was no checks and balances. And that's happening around the world. Everyone owes somebody. And I think that it's about time where all of those favors are coming due. And people can be happy and excited that Trump is going to be the president of the United States. Can he resolve the issues that are happening? Or is this the great setup to give us faith in a system that is so broken and so deteriorated that it's going to screw up everybody and everything? I believe that when they say they have a narrow window of opportunity, they mean it, and they're taking it. When all those treasury bonds come back in to the United States, the American dollar is going to fold. And when it folds, and when the United States teeters to the complete takedown of this country, that ripple effect will be felt around the world. It will be felt around the world. Okay, Tin, I'll be off here in a few minutes, baby. But we definitely will feel it. People around the world will feel it, because people have been so involved with the American dollar for so long. I think that it's the same thing that it's always been. The rich man gets richer, and the poor and the middle class are going to get wiped out. Definitely, Tita Marie. Definitely. Real estate and gold and silver have stood the test of time, along with salt. And I'm not shitting you, it's salt. People will always want trade and barter for salt and your basics. But honestly, if you can buy gold and you can buy silver, I would definitely do it. You know, I don't believe that it's when it's is it ever going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Like we used to always talk about, it's not going to happen. Maybe it'll happen in the next decade or next 20 years. I think it's a matter of time, and I think all the pieces of the big puzzle are coming together. Sugar, hard liquor are great for bartering. That's right. And I think that, Tina Marie, that people honestly need to learn that trade. In the Philippines, around the world, in Mexico, and other countries, they trade for things that they want. Um, Tonight, I did a hell of a deal. I bought roughly, some lady was booing out of her mind, but I bought roughly 50 pairs of shorts for $10. Beautiful shorts. And I buy and flip. That's what I do. I buy and flip. Um, I buy and flip on eBay, Macari, anywhere that I can buy at Facebook. And the thing is this is the time to take all that junk that you don't want, all those things that you don't use, and turn it into dollars, and then take the dollars and turn it into silver. If you're saying I can't do it off the wall, I'm broke ass, I can't invest in shit, it's because you're wasteful. Okay? It's an excuse, and everyone can make an excuse, or you can make a way. And it's time right now, folks, around the world. I don't care where you're from or where you're listening. I don't give a shit if you're in China, Japan, Australia. I don't care where you're at. It is going to affect every single one of us and our families. And the best thing you can do is buy gold, silver for backup, purchase some real estate in another country other than your own country, and learn the skills, because skills are going to outlast the year. People always want to talk about on their YouTube prepping channels, buy this shit, buy this shit. I'll tell you what to buy. Buy a book that teaches you the basic old lost ways. There's a wonderful book out. It's called The Lost Ways. There's Lost Ways 1 and Lost Ways 2. If you look at the playlist, you'll see it. I've done some specials on it. But it actually teaches you the old ways of our ancestors. And those old lost ways are going to be the way that we're all going to have to survive when the collapse happens. Yeah. But see, Tina Marie, you got to get. Now I'm not. Okay, I'm calling you out. Hey, stepping in it. I'm calling you out a little bit, okay, Tina Marie? A hassle to make extra money. I don't care what financial bracket you're in, unless you're up in the $500,000, $600,000 a year bracket. To make extra money and put it to work in your own family is important. And if you have children, it's even more important, because it is coming, and it's not going to change. Just like me investing a whole whopping $10 into all these shorts, stacks of them, y'all, stacks of them. I mean, I got stacks of absolutely beautiful shorts. Almost all of them are brand new. Yes, I did buy me some damn Bronco gear because I'm going to the Broncos game with my brother, and but I mean, I got stacks of shorts. You take that little bit of money, and that's why I say anyone can do it. You can, by investing, allows you $10, right? People want it free, so I'd rather give to charity. And that's fine, Tina Marie, if you have the capability to do that. But I know a lot of people that are on Social Security or disability, they need to turn that little bit of money into more money. And just like investing into this group of shorts, yeah, I lost a lot of weight, so yeah, I did buy some for myself and bought some for my family in the Philippines, for the nieces and nephews over there. I did. But I'm going to sell the rest, and I'm going to sell them for $10 to $15 a pop. You start adding that up, that's how you flip money. And it's the same thing you just asked me, Tita Marie, about silver and gold. Yes, you can go buy 13 mercury dimes that are damaged and get you 1 troy ounce of silver. 1 troy ounce of silver, and that's why I say that anyone can stack silver. You can go to pawn shops, flea markets, freaking coin dealers, and they will always sell you mercury dimes that are damaged for really cheap. So then you take those 13 and you keep adding to it, and buy 1 troy ounce at a time if you have to, before we run out of time. That's the thing. Because I really truly believe that when the CBDC is rolled in full blown, we're all going to feel it around the world, because the American dollar will be no longer. And if you look back in time, in history, the American dollar has stood firm, especially when it was on the gold standard. But now that it's off the gold standard, and it has been forever, it seems like, it's going to be a disaster. You have a lot of old gold jewelry. Is it better to cash it or keep it? I would turn it into silver, or I would turn it into bullion. My honest opinion. I would cash out on it and turn it into gold or silver bullion. Just saying. But it's up to each individual. It's always good to have small denominations of silver, especially if it comes down to us having to do some under the table type of situations, instead of going completely 100% with the flow. Most people won't do that. They won't want to do that. I mean, imagine you not being able to give your child or a niece or nephew $10 or $20 for Christmas because it has to go through CBDC. Imagine if what they're saying, your carbon footprint is high, right? And you're flying a lot and you're traveling a lot, and they say, not today, not anymore, because you won't be able to access your money. Now, these are all the what ifs, and these are all the research and reports that are out about the CBDC and why people are having such a tiff about it. I don't want to see the American dollar or any dollar go. I think that with us having currency, it's very important because we control what we want to do, right? 1 ounce copper coin, shiny and so affordable. I Copper don't hold a. Just saying, it doesn't hold nothing. It copper to trade and barter with. I don't see it, Leah. I mean, I may be wrong. I've always been silver and gold. You know, I used to. Many of you know when I was Mr. A hole, I would have gold on every finger. When I was the a hole of a-holes, gaudy, full of shit, and always wanted to show off wealth. I think that it's more important to live within your means. Copper, that's why they steal all of the catalytic converters off of cars, because of the copper and the copper wiring out of air conditioning systems and things like that, because it is worth money. I don't know about investing into copper, so I wouldn't tell you. Um, I wouldn't really be able to tell you about that. You know what I'm saying? I really believe that silver and gold are going to stand the test of time, honestly. Yeah, that's true, Tina Marie. Gold leaf sheets. Well, and the other thing, a couple years ago, I had a little different stance on food preps. And then after moving from the Ozarks to Colorado, I totally changed my whole opinion about people canning to the point they have rooms full of canning food. Yes, it's great. Yes, you have food available to you. But I'd like to see your ass carry that 200 miles, 500 miles, or 1,000. I'd like to see you bug out with all your glass bottles and cans, I mean, your glass jars of canned food, and bug out because you have to hit the road because it's unsafe in your area. You know, we have to take prepping and not bring it into a fearful way, but bring it down to earth. How do you prep to be ready for disasters? And I think the United States and around the world economically, we're going to have the biggest disaster we've ever had in the ever. And I agree with you, Kentucky Survival. Nice to see you, man. I totally agree with you. 3 months is plenty. Learning to forage, learning to hunt, learning to fish, learning to outback it, learning to go in the mountains and forage, learning to go in the forest and forage, having non GMO seeds to plant your own victory garden is more important than having 2 years worth of food that you can't haul with you. And I don't want to bug out. I've always wanted to bug in. But being where I'm at now, I may have to bug the hell out. And if I have to bug the hell out, I want to grab Trooper, grab my necessities, and go and GO. It's really important also to have paper copies and duplications of everything you have, because I believe that they'll crash the system on purpose. From the stock market to your bank account, that will happen. You can all say it's a conspiracy, but many people have told me that I was right before. And just from research and looking and reading, you can learn a lot when you get out of mainstream media. You can't get all that information from mainstream media. You dehydrate food and vacuum them. Water purification straws, I don't like them. I don't like them, Tina Marie. I had them. I had the life straw. This is the issue with the life straws and those type of straws, right? Any kind of life straw, anything, water purification straw, is that bacteria grows in them. They're throwaway. They're disposable. You can only use them for so long. Once you crack it open and use it, it becomes contaminated, and you will get a gut ache. I would rather have a good bandana and some charcoal. Okay? Just saying. What's up, George? You know, you can learn. It's very, very easy. Tina Marie, if you go to the reboot list, there is, when I went out in the forest, I got stone, sand, moss, and I made my own water purification system for basically like $1, you know, because I used the water bottle. So that we'll say the water bottle cost me $1. Learning to make your own water purification system is important. The life straw and the water purification straws, I really don't believe in them. What I do have, and I'll always keep it, is that I have an Alexa Pure. I have an Alexa Pure right here, and the Alexa Pure is a very easy setup. You can also make this out of 2 5-gallon containers, right? The Alexa Pure is charcoal. This filtration is charcoal. You can actually add 4 of them in there. There's a link on my main page if you want to buy one. It does help the channel. But this is made out of charcoal. You pour your water through here. It comes through. It's a slow drip. It ends up in the bottom, and you have purified water. This is heavy duty, but it's also easy to carry. What's up, Georgie Possum Head Asshole Mitchell? What's up, brother? You know, so that is something that you can do, and those are easy to replace, because even if you can't get the filter, what you can do is get charcoal. You can make activated charcoal very easy. If you go to the Lost Ways series on this channel, I talked about activated charcoal. I talked about the Lost Ways, and it'll teach you all that. Water purification is really important. One prep that we always screw up on, and that we don't really talk about on channels, is the most important prep you can have is faith, air, water, and food, and a whole lot of ammo, right? So I hope that everybody takes something from this. Yes, Tina Marie. Yes, it does. Spring water is absolutely awesome, but there can still be impurifications in it. The thing is when I was in the Ozarks, I actually took a paper map and went out and went to some of these lakes and streams, and people were having a fit because I made the scenario that I lost my mini Sawyer. I lost my life straw. Somebody took it. It fell along the path, whatever it was. And the only thing I had left was the bandana around my head. And I drank out of a lot of those streams, and people were like, "You're going to get sick." You know, I'm not scared of doing that. The thing is of course you could get sick. No matter if the water's coming out of the tap, it could still be the same thing. Wow, that's Canada. Look at that in the chat, y'all. No ammo allowed here. The government is buying them back from gun owners in Canada. Go figure. They're leading the way for gun confiscation, no Second Amendment in the United States, and no ammo sales. It's headed in the direction of the shredding of the United States Bill of Rights Constitution. It's all getting shredded, piece by piece. And I'll tell you what, when it happens, it's going to be the slice at the Achilles heel. We have no self-protection here. Isn't that some bullshit? And I'm sad to say this, Tina Marie, it'll be ending up being the same as Australia. Recon, they banned all automatic rifles in Canada. Well, and the bans are going to continue to come and happen in Kentucky. And we already know here in the United States, they are definitely on our asses about the Second Amendment. Every time there's a gun crime, they exploit that gun crime to make people think we need to get rid of guns. And honestly, it's not it's not the gun that does the crime, it's the person behind the trigger. I mean, it's the person behind the trigger. And let's flood the southern border of the United States with fentanyl. Let's flood the West Coast with fentanyl and then blame it on guns that people die. Maybe if we would tighten up our border and build the damn wall just like every other country. You cannot walk into Dubai, you cannot walk into Saudi and be a happy-go-lucky motherfucker and think that everything's happy-go, that I'm just going to hang out there. That's not how it works in those countries. So why should it work like that in the United States? That's right. Because we're waiting for the Trojan horse that's already within our governments, from the feds to the city. We are waiting for the Trojan horse that's laying the sleeper cells across this country. And they're just waiting for the ample opportunity to take down America. And it's going to take people like you, Kentucky, people like George Mitchell, people like Josh Roberts, to stand beside other folks and fight for what's right. And it's going to come down to that. All guns not allowed except hunting rifles owned by the first national citizens. Casey, my God, what is going on, Casey? Casey, what's going on, brother? How are you, Casey? Long time no see, man. Glad to see you. My live streams are so sporadic and crazy now that I moved to Colorado. Casey, I don't have time. Plus, I got that new lady over there in the Philippines. Guns don't kill people, people kill people. That's right, George. That's a fact. That's the truth. Not much saw you live and had to jump in and see you. That's because I'm getting more good looking every day, Casey. I know that you wanted to see me. Y'all, I hope that if you missed the beginning of the live stream, that you go back. There were some really good questions and statements coming up in the chat. I really think, if you need to reach out to me, if you have a question, I always will answer all my emails. It's offthewallprepper@gmail.com. I answer every freaking one of those myself. Lord, sometimes I think I'm crazy. But, I will answer your questions. And if you have a question and you didn't want to ask it in the chat, or you want to talk to me privately, you can email me there, and I'd be happy to answer it. Yes, you're right. The guns are being sent to the war in Ukraine, along with all the other munitions that they've already sent. I'm getting uglier and uglier, George. Hey, there's a bird flying, brother. There's a bird flying, Georgie. Anyway, y'all, I really wanted to do trivia this last month, but I have so many things going on right now. I can't dedicate myself like I used to YouTube. It's just how it is. I care, and I still am prepping, and I care about people prepping, and I want to get the message out there, but I just don't have time for all the fun and games all the time. I would like to do at least one Christmas trivia, maybe, but I can't make no promises. I just have, my big prep right now, and has been for like the last 8 months, is health. I think that's one of the most important preps you could do, is health and faith. And I've said it forever. The health thing is kind of new for me because I was overweight, fat, lazy, sitting in a recliner, eating too many cakes, and not being concerned about my health. And I think that it's really important, folks, to get healthy while you can. Yeah, that's good, Kentucky. I would like to have you back on, Kentucky. We should shoot the shit on the live stream. Tanks and Jeeps and other stuff, that's about the truth. Y'all, I'm going to get off here. God bless you from here in Colorado to wherever you're at. First of all, always be the light, love, and hope for someone. Don't walk in fear, walk in faith. Things are going to roll in. They're going to snowball on us. You like that, huh? Which one, George? Oh, I only got one. That one up there. George, I bought those at Ethan Allen, my God, 25 years ago. They're signed and they're numbered, and I'll show it to you, George, just because you asked. It is pretty cool. Um, it is a pretty cool. I have a set of them. You know, those were in the days when I every when I spent money foolishly. So that's one of the foolish things I spent money on, as well as this piece of art, which is probably my favorite piece of art, the great philosopher. You know, and the great philosopher, I love him, and he made it again. It is a flower. Hey, what's up, goblins? Shit, goblins up in the house. Oh, what's up, goblins? Shit, brother. You've been on a drunk binge for like 3 months, dude. Maybe it's 3 years. Anyway, Goblin, what's up, man? I dropped into your video the other day. It was very interesting. You know, I try to support as many as I can here on YouTube. When I'm at work and I have downtime, I still do it. It is, George. It's a gosh dang flower that was signed and numbered by some rich lady, some rich artist. But anyway, y'all, take care of each other. Be the light, love, and hope for someone today. Never give up, never give in. And the motto's always been here at Off the Wall Prepper before they took down my other channel is do the dang thing. And that means to do the right thing, and it means to do the things that are important to you on your prepping journey. And all of us are on a different prepping journey. My journey right now is health and learn more skills. Get the bushcrafting series. Do something good for yourself. Yeah, KY. I've always really loved those great thinkers, those philosophers. Um, there's a great series of books out. So if you've never read them, they're enlightening. They're from the Oh God, I can't even tell you what year they're from now that I just drew a blank. You know, PTSD cups in there sometimes. But they're written by Cal Hill Gibran. The book, the main one, is called The Prophet. It's a fabulous book with a lot of insight, KY, from those great free thinkers of way back when. Y'all, peace, love, light, and hope from here in Colorado to wherever you're at. And a 2x4 upside your head, or maybe a big prepper hug, whichever you need today. God bless. Till I see you again. Everybody keep doing the dang thing and be alert and aware. God bless. Stay frosty.